Hello everyone, this is the second video on limits. So last time, if I'm not mistaken, I have shown you how to do the calculation of limit by using factorization techniques. So the next part here, we are going to see how to deal when we cannot factorize the equation. Okay, so here let us try to see the first example. Okay, as you see in the example here, we have a square root. So if you can see that here, you cannot factorize the value inside your bracket. So you cannot do any factorization. And if we try to substitute immediately the value of x equals to 6 here, so what happened? So if you try to put here the value of 6 there into x, so you're going to get 6 minus 6 over 3 times with 6 is supposed to be 18 minus with 2, so it will be 16 minus with 4. So if we try to calculate here, you are going to get 6 minus 6 divided by 4 minus 4. So if you can see that, you are going to deal with the indeterminate form, which is it's still no solution for it. So here we actually get stuck on it. So what we can do is actually we can try to deal with what we call as a conjugate. So another terms that you need to know here is what we call as a conjugate. I think I already explained to you what is conjugate about when we deal with the complex number in our chapter 2. Okay, now let us try to see how conjugate can solve our problem here. So let us try to write again the question. So here we have the limit as x approaching to 6 for x minus with 6 over a square root of 3x minus with 2 minus with 4. So we are going to multiply it with the conjugate. So which part that you need to deal with conjugate? So the upper part or the bottom one? So here we are going to choose the one with a square root. So if the square root lies on your numerator, so you are going to choose that square root. If the square root lies on the denominator, you are going to choose the square root on the denominator. So it doesn't matter whether you are going to deal with the upper part or the bottom one. It actually depends on where's the location of your square root. So if you can see here, the square root is on this part. So basically we are going to find the conjugate for this one. So the conjugate for this part is actually a square root. We are going to write back the square root of 3x minus 2, and we have the negative 4 here, so we are going to change it for conjugate. It will be plus with 4. So again, because we have a fraction here, we are supposed to write again the same thing, 3x minus 2 plus with 4. Okay, I hope you are okay with this. So once we have all these things, what we are going to do, we are going to multiply the bottom part here into this part, right and left. So let us try to see what happened here. So we are going to have a limit as x approaching to 6. Okay, for the numerator part, the upper part here, we just need to write it as x minus 6 multiply with the square root of another bracket 3x minus 2 plus with 4. Okay, please be careful when you try to copy it. The value of plus 4 should be outside the square root part. Okay, let us to see here. What happens if we have a square root of 3x minus 2 multiply with the square root of 3x minus 2? So basically we can eliminate that square root. So you are going to get now, it will be 3x minus 2 only. So now the square root have been eliminated, because if you have the square root of a multiply with another square root of a, you are going to get a power of half multiplied by a power of half. So it will be a half plus with another half, so it should be a1. So that's why you already eliminate the square root there. So then if you get the 4 times with or you can try to deal with this part also, the square root of 3x multiplied by plus 4. So you are going to get here plus with 4 square root of 3x minus 2. And for this part, here you are going to get negative 4 multiplied by this part. So you are going to get here minus 4 square root of 3x minus 2. So don't forget this part, you still have the divisor on it. So then the last part is negative 4 multiply with positive 4. So you are going to get the negative 16. So if you look into this part at the middle there, this value are going to give you 0, because plus and minus the same thing. Let's say if you have a plus 1 minus 1, so you are supposed to get 0 for it. So you have the same numbers, so one of it is positive and another one is negative, so it's automatically been eliminated. So you are going to get only 3x minus 2 minus with 16. So for this part also, you can try to calculate it. So minus 2 minus with 16, you are going to get minus of minus of 18. Alright, so here let us continue our calculation, where you are supposed to get the limit of x approaching to 6 of x minus 6 multiply with all the square root that we have there, the 3x minus with 2 plus with 4 divided by 3x minus with 18. Okay, now if you still try to substitute the value of x approaching to the value of 6, I think it's still no solution for it. So what we are going to do now, we are going to factorize this part. Okay, so let us try to factorize it. Okay, I write it here again because I don't have space there. Okay, if you see here, we try to factorize the bottom one. So you are supposed to get here limit as x approaching to 6 for this part. You are going to get here 3x minus 6, and here you have x minus 6 again, and the square root of 3x minus 2 and plus with 4 is supposed to be outside there. And if you see here, you can actually try to cancel this part because you have the same value, so you are going to divide it, so it become 1 there. Then you can start to substitute the value of x, all the x that you have here, into 6. So you are going to get square root. So once you substitute the value, automatically no need to write limit. So you are going to get 3 times with 6 minus with 2 plus with 4 divided by 3. So then you can get the final answer will be here will be square root of 16 plus with 4 divided by 3. So 4 plus 4 will be 8 over 3. This is the final answer for the limit. Sorry. So again, you can actually try to deal with it. So in short, we're going to say that we have three parts, okay, of the calculation of limit, which is you can try to substitute the value directly, so which is direct substitution, or if this techniques is not working, you can try to deal with factorization. And if you cannot factorize it at the beginning, you can start with what we call as the multiply it with the conjugate. This is the part that we have discussed in these two videos. So I'm going to give you another question in our video here. So let's say I want you to try this part, and we are going to discuss it in our live session later. So let's say here we have the limit as x approaching to -2 for the 3 minus with the square root of 1 minus with 4x divided by 2x plus with 4. So here I want you to try this, and we will discuss it during our live session. Okay, thank you class.